How's it going, everyone? College Lefty, and in this video I have for you all the HONUS Wagner and Chipper Jones debut. I recently picked up both of these cards yesterday, actually. Made a video on unlocking HONUS Wagner as well. So we're going to go ahead and get into this viewer game live stream, kind of post-game commentary as well. I was live streaming these games over on Twitch if you'd like to follow me over there. Starting off pretty bad, I recently picked up this Ron Guidry from the Signature Team Moments. Have yet to really try this card out, and he started off by giving up a couple home runs. I was able to get at least one out, but the majority of this gameplay is going to be viewer games. It's going to be HONUS Wagner and Chipper Jones focused because I wanted to try and get some shortened games, some 3-inning games in, and interact with people that watch the content, give people a chance to play against me. And we had some really good games as well. But I wanted to try and get as many at-bats as possible in a short amount of time with some of these brand new cards. I also will be using Bo Bichette off the bench. I'm not sure if I included any clips from him. I only had a couple at-bats. I was using him as a pinch hitter. But in this first game, I was having a tough time locating, struggling to throw any pitch really where I wanted to with any pitcher. Ended up giving up a grand slam to his created player. So we're down by 7. But this is HONUS Wagner's very first at-bat. This is his debut, and I have used this card in Signature Team Moments, but that's it. I was just recently trying out his swing a little bit, playing those, trying to unlock that Ron Guidry. I have a couple more games to play for the Signature Series Vlad, but in HONUS Wagner's debut, he gets a base knock up the middle. That's going to bring up Chipper Jones a couple batters later. I had him in the 3 spot, and he goes the other way. Late base hit, 3-0 count, a pitch over the middle of the plate, and he goes the other way with it, so that's pretty solid. We have a chance to try and come back, at least make this game a respectable game with a home run. We really need a home run. It's pretty much all or nothing at this point. With 3-inning games, you need to score a couple runs, and especially if the opponent scores 7, you have to try and chip away at the deficit. Luckily, Willie Mays squares one up, sends it the other way for a no-doubter, and that's going to be big. It continues the inning on. It allows the pitcher to be taken out because of his confidence, and now we're trying to go up against some relievers and try and get the game tied. I mean, down a couple runs, going up against some really good opponents. A lot of players that I played during the live stream are really good, and I want to include as many clips as possible, as much action as I can. So in this first game, there was quite a few clips, a lot of runs scored. In a couple other games, there weren't as many runs scored. I wanted to try and include as many at-bats as possible from some of these hitters. There, HONUS Wagner squares it up in his second at-bat, but lines out to center field. The opponent was able to get something going. Icy is a good opponent. He smacks one into the gap, trying to expand his lead a little bit. And at this point in the game, I can't really afford to give up any more runs. We're in a situation right here where he can go ahead by one more run, maybe more if Ichiro sends one into the gap. He hits one down the line, and that's going to allow him to score one more run. So 8-4 game. Not the best way to start the stream off, but at the same time, this is great practice. I mean, I'm losing in this game. I'm trying to make the comeback, and I have an opportunity here with a couple of these really good hitters in the middle of my lineup. Griffey, Chipper Jones, Willie Mays, guys like that. Lead off this inning with a triple from Griffey, so we have a chance. I mean, a couple more base hits and a home run. We're in business. Chipper Jones is up, a 3-0 count, and I felt like that was a good pitch to swing at. 2 3-0 counts with Chipper in this one. He throws it over the middle. I squared it up, but lined out to left field. Wanted to try and include as many at-bats as possible from when I just very first tried this card out. Very first time of the first game, so that's why I have as many at-bats as they had in this clips here. But so far, good game, and end up losing that last one, but it's all good. Hop into the next one, going up against another really good opponent. I tried to get a viewer game in against him yesterday, but for whatever reason, we had some trouble with PlayStation Network and sending the invite and stuff like that, actually adding the friend as well. So had a little bit of trouble, but we got the game in today, and he smacks a home run out with Ken Griffey Jr. First couple times using some of these new cards. I recently picked up the Walter Johnson as well. Haven't yet used him, but Tom Seaver finally took the mound and gave up a 2-run shot. So it is what it is, but HONUS Wagner is knocking in some base hits. Definitely a solid card. I'm really glad that I picked him up. I was extremely excited to try out the HONUS Wagner and this Chipper Jones, who's up right now. And he also sends one to the opposite field a little bit late. So a couple late hits from both of the cards I just recently picked up. And that's definitely good to see, but it's also because they have really good swings. They're both quick, short, compact swings. and two-handed swings as well. I think that that's important, especially for me. Different people have different preferences when they play this game. I tend to do a little bit better with the guys that do have the short two-handed swings rather than one-handed swing, especially from the right side. I hit better with lefties that have the one-handed swing, like Tony Gwynn and George Brett. Joe Morgan is another one. But just the type of player that I am, it's something that I noticed throughout playing this game. But this opponent also has Honus Wagner, so that's cool to go up against him as well. Now that I have unlocked him, it's awesome to see a lot of other people that have him. And it was always something where I went up against him and I had no chance of unlocking him, or I thought I had no chance of unlocking him this year, and turns out I was much closer than I thought. But it's nice to have that matchup now, Honus versus Honus. I think that that's really cool. But anyway, I was down to his last out, had the opponent right where I wanted him, and he hits a two-run shot to take the lead there with Ken Griffey Jr. I thought I walked the game off with Chipper Jones. I squared that one up, sent it out to center field, but didn't have the power that I thought I got. But after a wild pitch, Ken Griffey Jr. advances to second base. The clutch factor is activated, and Ted Williams goes deep. He has 125 clutch. That definitely comes into play there. Makes it a little bit tougher on the pitcher, as well as increases your contact, I would say. That's something that the developers have confirmed. But I was having a tough time pitching. I know that I'm going to have to score a lot of runs in order to win some of these games. I mean, I had to come back in that last one. Both players really had to come back in that last one. But let's go ahead and hop into another one. We have Tom Seaver on the mound once again, and he's getting rocked once again. Gives up a couple runs there. A 3-run shot to Duke Snyder. So that's not really the best way to start this game off, but I have been down in this video multiple times. I've been losing a lot of the games I've played recently that have been shorter 3-inning games in the event, in Battle Royale. In viewer games like this, it doesn't really matter. If it's a shortened game, I'm going to give up a lot of runs. I'm going to struggle. I tend to pitch a little bit better in ranked seasons, but even in ranked seasons, I've been giving up a ton of runs. I've had to make comebacks, so there is a chance that I can make this comeback down by 4 runs. Started off with a home run from Willie Mays. I was able to get something going earlier in the game, but unable to capitalize. Only really 1 base hit. And in this one, I was seeing the ball well. As soon as he went to the reliever, Raleigh Fingers, I was able to pick the ball up, hit a couple home runs there, back-to-back shots. Another batter later, Pablo Sanchez goes deep. So 3 home runs in this inning, 3 solo shots. It would have been nice to get a couple guys on base prior to hitting those home runs, but it is what it is. I'll take the solo shots. We have Honus Wagner up once again, and he goes the other way. Once again, late base hit. Down the right field line for a single. That 96 speed is nice. Didn't really want to try and test him out with stealing bases at this point. Didn't really want to steal too many bases against the viewers or even attempt it, because I'm trying to work on different things. I'm trying to work on hitting, my approach at the plate. I'm trying to work on taking pitches. Just really focusing on hitting with guys on base, trying not to hit into double plays, stuff like that. Later on in the game, after Chipper Jones sends one up the middle, Ted Williams hits a homer, so we do take the lead. We tie the game up and take the lead all in the same inning, score 7 runs, and that pretty much sums up sometimes how I can play this game. I mean, I'm pretty streaky when it comes to this game. I'll be able to hit really well in a specific inning or a couple innings here and there, but sometimes I'll go into a slump for a full game or 2 games. It just depends. And that's just the way it is sometimes. Sometimes I'm playing well, sometimes I'm not playing as well. So far, I was able to win a couple games versus the viewers, but they have also made it very challenging on me to compete with them and win some of these games. I've had to come back in both of the games I've won. I got smacked in the first one. It happens. And in this one, this situation was pretty big. A sac fly opportunity, and he left early from third base. So he had 2 guys on after 2 base hits, second and third, nobody out. And I was able to get out of the inning without giving up a run. He definitely deserved to win this game. But one swing of the bat can be the difference. I mean, Pablo Sanchez goes deep. I had a really tough time hitting the 88 Diamond Patrick Corbin. He brought in 99 Kirby Yates. I saw him much better. I was able to hit the ball. And not too much action from that last one, just that one solo shot. But trying to include as many at-bats from Honus and Chipper. I didn't get anything going with them in the last game. But in this one, a base knock from Honus, a home run from Chipper. In between, Griffey got on as well. So definitely a solid performance from some of these brand new cards that I've tried out. Obviously, I've used Chipper Jones in previous games. I've used his swing before, and I really like that card. I used him in 17. I used him in 18. But in this year's game, he's definitely really good. Similar card, very glitchy. Same type of thing with Honus Wagner. Brand new card, and most of the time when I get these brand new cards, I don't do that well with them. So it's nice to see that I'm hitting well. I'm hitting over 500 with both of them at this moment in time, and that's pretty good to see. I think that they're going to allow me to score a lot of runs in ranked seasons. I'm curious to see how they play on all-star difficulty when I start up this brand new season that starts up tomorrow. But Honus Wagner, once again, another base knock. He went the other way on the majority of his hits in this video, but finally pulled one. Also went up the middle a couple times. So showing that he can go to all sides of the field is definitely important. I think having guys that can go the other way with some power, hit some extra base hits the other way is important. But to go ahead and wrap this video up, I got hit by a pitch with Ken Griffey Jr. It brings up Chipper Jones, and Chipper Jones is going to ground out into a double play. It's not the best way to end it. I would have liked to end it with a no-doubter there. Grand slam, of course, but we did score another run. There was a productive double play, to say the least, and we ended up clutching that victory out. GG's to all the people that I played. As always, it's always a pleasure, and it's always a challenge to go up against you guys. Everyone that watches the content is really good at this game, and hopefully I'm able to help you guys out with some tips that I give out during the viewer games and stuff like that. But until next time, everybody, peace out.